Hey everybody out there in the world, how are you doing? This is Courtni StarHeart, and I'm here in the studio with Finding the Force and the 4 Keys of Power. Okay, so I have come up with something completely new and different. It's like the meow wolf of Keynote Performances and Training. So I have mixed science and psychedelics to come up with a 4-step process that pretty much anybody can use. You know, it all started off with ayahuasca. Actually, it started off before that when I was dying of E. coli poisoning and no one could fix me. I went to the Southwest and I actually found a traditional medicine man who was able to help me to save my life. The thing is not everyone has the tools and techniques that the ancient people of the world had. So whether it was in Africa or Asia or North or South America or Europe, all of our ancestors had these incredible ways of plugging into the force. Hey, Melissa, if you want to join me, jump right in there. I'd be happy to have you on here. So we're talking about the 4 keys of power. What these keys are is a specific way of dialing into your personal force so that with or without plant medicine, you can actually tap into this and stay connected to your personal power in any situation. Whether you're at work, you're at play, you're with your family, or you're taking plant medicine and wanting to journey and discover the secrets of the universe, you can actually use these 4 keys to stay plugged in. The great thing is that the more you practice this system, the better you get at it, and the more it becomes like second nature. So, if you want to join me, I would really like to share this technique with you because I just want to give it away. In this keynote performance, as well as at our ayahuasca retreats here in New York, as well as with microdosing, you can use this system. But I want to dive right in right away so that we can start working with these keys. What's the first key? The first key is vision. What's your personal vision? People keep on asking me who my ideal client is, and I say anyone who has a vision, anyone who has a vehicle, that's a body, and anyone who's willing to avoid old contracts. If you're willing to avoid some bullshit idea that was holding you back all your life, bring it. Let's get rid of those limiting beliefs and elevate ourselves. When you combine vision and voiding old contracts, your vision for a new life, and you're avoiding old stuff from the past with a vehicle that's plugged into the force, you open up a vortex of power. And for those of you who are nature lovers or woman lovers, you know that a vortex, like in a flower or like in our body where we birth things, a vortex is a place of power. People go to Sedona looking for these vortexes. They're crazy about it. You have a vortex right here. So I want to teach you to use these tools real quick. This Friday, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show up for our 4 keys. I'll do my best, but we have ayahuasca retreat this weekend, and I'm going to be super busy with my clients. Sometimes I get a little tired, I get a little drained, so I'm going to make sure that we do the 4 keys this week. The first key, all right, you have to tune in. The first key, T, tune in. You're going to place your hand on your heart and your hand on your abdomen. And you're going to learn this breath work technique called box breathing. Inhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called box breathing. Then you exhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You stop and you hold. 2, 3, 4. Now you can make these breaths as slow and as long and as gorgeous and juicy as you want them to be. But what we know through the HeartMath Institute has an actual monitor that we put on our ear and we plug in, and we can see the actual readouts from our brain waves and our heart waves. When you do this specific kind of breathing, that's the first step, that box breathing, this data shows that your personal power completely shifts. Now, how can we measure that? That's a weird thing to say, that we can measure our personal power, but we can. Because when your brain gets in tune with your heart and those electromagnetic frequencies line up, you actually expand your energy body, your energy signature that comes from your heart, not from your brain now. your heart is pumping, pumping. What is that? That's blood under pressure, okay? It creates a vortex, boom, boom, boom. And because of all the iron in your bloodstream, it creates an actual electromagnetic field that is huge. It's like having 5G. It doesn't surprise you, does it, that your body is an actual receiver? Like your phone, like an antenna. And when you beef up, I call it getting spiritually swole, right? We're exercising our spiritual muscles, getting swole, and this energy field is expanding, ba-boom, going quantum, going 5G, and it's plugging you into the force so that you can actually download yourself information from the universe. It shouldn't be that surprising. But what happens is we've lost the technology. Before the bad people came here and they did the things that they did in Native America, there were 100 million people on this continent, okay? Most of them were killed off by disease, not by gunfire or sword point. But what was left of the people had lost a lot of steps of their oral tradition and their technology. And of course, having a religion forced on us that demonized us and classified us as cattle and obviously like 10th class citizens, we became very quiet about this technology and preserved it. But just like in India, just like all over the planet, wise women and men knew we're all connected. We're connected to higher source. We're connected to each other. We're connected to the planet. We're connected to spirit. We're connected to everything when we're able to dial in. So let's go back to these 4 keys. The first key is tuning in, right? That's when you find this panel. You do your box breathing. And if you have to go back and look at this again, it's cool. But we're going to go on to step 2. Step 2 is where we actually start tapping, like EMDR. We're going to inhale and tap. And this is letting your pineal gland know that you want it to turn on. This is also focusing your attention, like Joe Dispenza has in his meditations. You're focusing now your attention on this process of dialing into the force. When you're able to find the force, with or without plant medicine, you are guaranteeing that you're at your highest power. So if you want to tune into your mental power and ride the crazy waves of the shit going on in the world today, you got to know these tools. Once you open up yourself to the force and to these higher powers, with or without plant medicine, you're going to become superhuman. So I'm creating a revolution, and the Trojan horse in this revolution is simple breath work. Step 1 is tuning in with your box breathing. Step 2 is tapping, okay? When we start to ignite these powers and we drop into our heart, the force field, that the electromagnetic field that your heart generates is 1,000 times stronger than what your brain generates. Your brain is usually generating these weird, squiggly little kind of electromagnetic pulses because we're so distracted. We're in our lizard brain. We're distracted by our limitations. We're in our mammal brain, distracted by being hungry and what's going on around us. Then you've got your neocortex up here, which is constantly telling you stories about stuff. That's where the mental chatter, the bad roommate in your head comes from, neocortex. When we step into our most advanced brain, which by the way, the frontal lobe is what distinguishes us from the rest of the animals in creation. If you want to use your human powers to become a superpower and ignite your true force, you have to know how to breathe and go within. We've got step 1. We've got step 2. When you've learned how to breathe properly and you're able to quiet your mind and drop into this heart state, okay? Then you begin to inhale and exhale. And you're going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And eventually we're going to layer in colors. There are hacks for the brain. There's a hack to turn off the neocortex, the chatter. There's a hack to turn off the hunger, the sex drive, the perceptions, the constantly only being your body. Because you're not your body. You're the thing that's driving the body. You're not the car, as sexy as you are. You are not the car. You are the driver. If you were driving from, say, LA to New York, you would want to know how to drive that vehicle where you're going, and you would want to have a compass for navigation. So that's what I teach people. Whether you're in corporate America, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a mom, or you're a yogi, it really doesn't matter. If you have a brain and a body, I can train you to use it to your highest power. Now, ba-boom. You add in ayahuasca, and you're guaranteed going into the next world of connectivity. In the next world, ayahuasca is like a near-death experience. For all of you who are dealing with ayahuasca as if it were a psychedelic, wrong, wrong, wrong. And it's clear that people who classify ayahuasca as a psychedelic have no training. Any elder who works with ayahuasca will tell you that what? Ayahuasca is a near-death experience. That's why ayahuasca, literally, the word means dead man's vine. It means you're going to the spirit world, Chavez. Got me? So when you go to the spirit world, what are you? Guess what? You find out very quickly that you are your thoughts. You are your feelings. You are lots of things that are not your body. You are non-local. You are able to plug into a vast, powerful network of connected stuff, of goodness, like 5G. So off we go. If you want to find the force and you want to jump into the spirit world, you can practice this journey on your own, okay? I tell my clients to practice this breath work every day, at least 5 times. It's only 3 minutes, people. Inhale, exhale 8 times. And you can eventually clock how long it's taking you. So if you don't have one of these heart math monitors like I do, you can actually time your breath. So if you're working with plant medicine or you're trying to plug into your higher power, understand that your breath is the connector between your body and your spirit. Every single tradition around the world says that, whether they call it prana, chi, ki, life force, or the great mystery. It's all the same. The breath is the connector between the spirit and the body. So practice your breath work, okay? Take your ayahuasca, and make sure if you're working with plant medicine, whether it's microdosing or it's the big medicines, that you have a guide who truly has your back. A lot of people out there right now being super predatory, picking people off who are newcomers. Hey, thinking that you're getting a trusted source, you don't know the difference when you first begin. So ask a lot of questions. I've got 20 years of doing this with native elders and teachers from around the world. Trust me, it's worth it to get the right person and get the right situation. Okay? So talk to you soon, people. Hope you're having a great day.